Schaden, and we've come to the original Christmas store in the Randhurst Shopping Center in Mount Prospect to set the scene for our holiday show. In the next hour, we've got some nice memories for you about Christmases of not so long ago. We're going to be talking with a Walt Disney collector, someone who's collected a lot of great Walt Disney collectibles. And we're going to be going to the home of a man who has recreated Maybeland in his living room. Maybeland, of course, was the setting for the Cinnamon Bear in those good old days of radio and on television. And we're going to have some personal memories of the Cinnamon Bear, too. So this is our Christmas show, and we hope you'll stick around and stay tuned. We'll be back in just 1 minute. Don't touch that channel.
If you like Sony, listen. Townhouse TV presents its first ever super sale on Sony's new lineup. Super savings now on Sony Super Beta Hi-Fi video recorders. Super savings now on Sony 8mm video camera recorders. Super savings now at Townhouse on Sony Trinitron Color TVs.
With any major purchase, get this Townhouse Lionel Super Train for only $19.95.
Come to the Superstore, Townhouse TV and appliances, Milwaukee and Oakton.
It's one small step for man.
Share the experience.
The candidates need
and unlock the memories at Chicago's Museum of Broadcast Communications.
For the latest local results.
Celebrating the very best in radio, television, and advertising. For membership information, call 565-1950. Chicago's new Museum of Broadcast Communications. Come, share the experience.
We've come to a marvelous Christmas place to get our show underway this time. This is the original Christmas store in the Randhurst Shopping Center in Mount Prospect, Illinois, and joining us here is the proprietor of our store. It's Mr. George Grubick. George, I'm happy that you could be here in your store today.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're a Texan, right?
Well, I'm not really a Texan. I'm transplanted, but I've lived in Texas, I guess, the past 15 years.
Well, this is the original Christmas store once or twice or more than that removed, because the original store is where? In Texas?
The original store is actually in Dallas, and the second year we opened up in Houston because it has a very large port facility, and everybody knows what's been happening in Houston for the last number of years, so it's been a very good place for us.
This is a marvelous place. You've just entered the Chicago area with this store and another one, I believe, in the general vicinity, correct? Where's that?
In the Riverside Shopping Center.
Riverside Shopping Center.
Yeah, we've tried to come up with a couple of stores. Obviously, it's kind of expensive to come to Chicago. And we think we can do something different. We try real hard. That's really what the original comes from, doing a new and definitive store each year rather than trying to stay with the same thing. And we spend 8 months a year shopping and trying to create a store. In September, we open up with a new show every year, which is original.
So, in other words, after this holiday season is finished, you'll fold your tent more or less,
back to the North Pole, that's it.
Back to the
Actually, back to Europe and the Far East shopping for merchandise and developing new displays. If you came to the store this year and saw it next year, you'll see a completely different presentation, and it takes a while.
The thing that struck me about your store, as opposed to just having a lot of ornaments in boxes or bushel baskets, is the wonderful display that you have here and all of the animation. Now, where does all this animation come from?
Well, a lot of it we build, and some of it we bring in from Germany. We have some displays as large as one display takes up a third of our Beverly Hills store. It's a large waterfall with deer running around, and it has about a 700-gallon tank in it. And we bring a lot of stuff in from Germany, and we have our own shops where we actually build a lot of the animation. We have Art Deco carousels, we have Noah's Arks with all the moving animals and waves and the boat rocks, and you know, it gives us, we feel better about ourselves when we do it that way. We have about 15,000 to 20,000 different items, which is considerably more, we know, than anyone else in the country stocks under one roof. And if we just put it on the floor, I'm sure we could sell Christmas ornaments, but it wouldn't be half as much fun as we have doing it this way.
That's really a nice idea to have some fun doing it. And as we've been working here today, we have seen so many of the people who have come into this store really in awe of the displays and the moving figures. And I guess you have Geppetto carving out a Pinocchio here.
Yeah, actually, it's one I hadn't seen. It's one of the things we did buy from Germany. I really think it's terrific looking.
Now, it's on sale here. It is for sale, I should say.
It is for sale, but you know, we really don't sell very many of the elaborate displays. We have some displays that are $100,000, Art Deco carousels and things that we've built, but it's for the museum. You know, the way people started in stores initially was that store should be part theater and part circus, and it should be a lively place that attracts people. Really, half of the people who come in our stores don't buy anything, and that's okay with us. You know, we just don't want them to go back disappointed, and if they do like it, we do some business. If we do some business, we stay in business. That's the way it works.
Well, it becomes a very nice holiday attraction, and I would guess that very few people who come in here could resist going out without something.
And unless they're a Scrooge type, we get some people. I'd say 1 out of 1,000 people comes in and they want to say something about the way we're doing Christmas or maybe pushing the season a little bit. But most people are pleased with us, I think, and we find that they do walk away with something. But if they don't, we're happy to have them. We know that at some time or another we're going to do our business eventually.
How long have you been in the business of bringing happiness at Christmas time to people?
Actually, we've been doing it for 15 years, and we started in Texas. It was just an idea of mine that I had seen someone doing on a very small scale, and as we stayed in it, we just got more elaborate and had more fun doing it and got a little wilder.
Do you close all of your stores after Christmas?
Oh, absolutely.
Every single one of them?
Even the large store. We have a 40,000 square foot store we close, and it's done over just as well as a 6,000 square foot store, and we really stay in the same facility at that point. But, you know, trying to think of something new to do each year is sort of a challenge, and it's interesting. And we shop from, we have close to 1,000 active and inactive people all over the world that sell to us, and we probably do business with 300 or 400 a year. So we spend all that time sort of building up to having a newer, hopefully better store the next season.
So everybody who comes back the next year will find something different, perhaps?
Find something different in merchandise, and at least find something that they hadn't seen before in an animated set, or different colors, different tree combinations. You know, we're always working to bring them something new. How
long does it take physically to set up a store like this? Now, you've come to the Randhurst Shopping Center, and you had a space.
Right.
Now, how long did it take you to get that space into this wonderland here?
Well, we have a pretty good system. Our system's not on paper, but it obviously works, because we do it in about 2 weeks. And actually, we've done a store in a week before that's a pretty elaborate store. The Houston store takes us about 6 weeks, and it's 40,000 square feet. So we have really systems of getting things together, and we try to pre-plan a lot, obviously, what we're going to have in the stores, and our colors are pre-planned and things like that. But again, the people that work in it don't realize what they're creating, I think, until it's finished and they open. We had a girl one time, if you have a minute, in Houston that worked for us. She had gone to Vassar, and she was just between jobs and between schools and things, and she worked for us that year, about 10 years ago, sat in the middle of the floor the night before it opened. She says, I can't even believe people did this. You know, she just didn't know what she was doing when she was involved in it.
Well, we've all decorated a Christmas tree. You know, one tree in our living room a few weeks before Christmas, perhaps, or maybe even on Christmas Eve.
Right.
And it's a nice family project, but we look around here, there must be 25 or 50 Christmas trees, all with themes. Now, do the people who set up this store, who come in here, they just decide, oh, here's a bunch of nice ornaments and let's put it together?
We used to do it that way, actually, but now we try to stay a little bit themed, and it's a new theme each year. We don't really call them themes, because our trees are pretty eclectic. We use more mouth-blown glass, for example, than anybody in the world. I would say that Marshall Fields is fairly large in it. They might bring in 25 or 30 different items. We have 759 items that are mouth-blown glass, and those are the traditional things that I really like about Christmas. You know, they're all made by, it's a cottage industry. I mean, there are no big factories in Christmas. There are probably 150 families that are doing the one little molded glass ornaments. I don't know if you remember them, little Santas and things, very small molds. And I remember them from 30 years ago, 40 years ago. And I don't know how many families involved, but the same family will take 2 or 3 molds, and they've been doing it for generations. And that kind of tradition and thing really is what I think that Christmas is all about.
And Christmas is tradition. And we thank George Grubeck for welcoming us to the original Christmas store in the Randhurst Shopping Center in Mount Prospect. Next, we're going to have some more holiday fun as we visit Walt Disney collector Mary Bolton. This is Chuck Schaden. Stay tuned and don't touch that channel.
There's an old-fashioned warm Christmas spirit at Townhouse TV and Appliances. Maybe it's the smiles that greet you. Maybe it's the dolls. Maybe it's the Lionel trains. Let a good memory from Christmas past, Lionel, make its way to Christmas present. This Christmas, why just give a toy when you can give a tradition? Lionel.
Come to the superstore, Townhouse TV and Appliances, Milwaukee and Oakton.
You'll find a generous helping of memories from and about the good old days at Metro Golden Memories in Chicago. We have a complete selection of records and cassette tapes from the fabulous big band era, plus thousands of personality recordings by your favorite singers. We offer a gigantic collection of books about the movies and the stars from those wonderful days of not so long ago. At Metro Golden Memories, you'll find a marvelous collection of celebrity statues, plus our famous Maltese Falcon replica, the Oscar look-alike, even Little Nipper the RCA dog. Hundreds of old-time radio shows on record and tape. And lots of books about radio and television, too. Posters of your favorite movies and movie stars. And videotapes of the classic films from Hollywood's golden age. Hundreds in stock for sale or rent. All this and more at Metro Golden Memories, 5425 West Addison, just 2 miles west of the Kennedy Expressway in Chicago. Open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday from 10 to 6, Sunday from noon to 5. Come in and browse. That's Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse doing a little Christmas dance, and we've danced on over to the Prospect Heights Public Library for a visit with a collector of Walt Disney memorabilia. She's Mary Bolton, and we're here to talk with Mary about a great collection that you have.
Thank you.
You have a really good collection of Walt Disney things, don't you?
Not very many old things, but a lot of collectibles. Don't have to be old to be collectible.
That's the interesting thing about the Disney material, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to have a lot of old things to be collectible.
If it was made, it was popular, and it's gone, that makes it collectible. And that can be 10 years, that can be 5 years. So it's not necessarily age.
Disney manufactures, or people manufacture on behalf of Walt Disney, a lot of instant collectibles.
Yes, they make them limited edition, certain numbers, or for specific reasons such as the Olympics or Christmas or something like that. And that makes it collectible right then and there, right.
How many items have you collected over the years?
I'll hazard a guess, give or take, about 10,000 pieces. And that includes books, which do add up faster when you collect coloring books and storybooks and all that. So as far as actual animated toys, I may not have that much, but in my total collection, maybe 10,000.
10,000. Now you have brought but a small portion of your 10,000 collectibles here to the library.
Right.
And what are some of the things that you collect now? What is the genre of Mickey?
Well, a lot of people pick a character and they collect. I have the total sickness. I collect all the characters, which makes it worse, makes it harder, because you want everything. But some people pick a particular character and they collect only that, or a particular movie and collect only that. But I collect anything: toys, books, records, tapes, stuffed animals, inanimate, musical things such as that work, everything, the gamut.
Now, is this new, this little Mickey and
Yes, that's
Minnie?
the new 86 Christmas music box for this year, featuring Mickey and Minnie as Mrs. and Mrs. Santa Claus. So
it's a limited edition collectible?
This one is not in particular, no. This one will run for this Christmas, but it's not in limited number. As many as are ordered will be out there. But there is a limited edition one out for this year also.
And what would that have been?
It features Mickey and Minnie looking out their Christmas window onto Chippendale, and that'll coincide with the plate, the bell, and the ornament for this year, and those are limited in 15,000 quantities.
15,000 quantity?
For the entire country.
For the entire country. Now what about a foreign market?
That I'm not too sure of. Schmidt is, of course, a import company, so I'm not sure if that encompasses that or if they have something different. That I've never looked into.
Let's look up close to some of these Walt Disney collectibles. Now this is a...
It's not very old.
Donald Duck.
It's plastic, so you know it's after the war, but it's something that was made, and it's gone. They're not being made anymore.
Now, were these made to be collectibles, or were these toys?
They were made to be played with, loved with, and forgotten. And like anything, if you could live in a warehouse, someday everything will be collectible, but you just don't know what it's going to be.
What is the most interesting Mickey Mouse, or I guess we should say Donald Duck or Walt Disney collectible?
That I have, or that?
Well, that you have, and that of all things.
That I have, I would say it's a wooden Pinocchio piece that came out in 1940 when Pinocchio was popular. It was released. But the most collectible, or the most expensive collectible Mickey Mouse thing or Disney thing are the cells. And the cells are short for celluloids, which they use to make the animated features. And those are the most expensive things.
These were the actual
Right.
things
For each
they used for
movement
each
on a movie film, there has to be a painting for it. And these paintings are now art objects, and art museums have them, and people seek them, and they don't let them go, and they're expensive.
How expensive are they?
A Mickey Mouse from Sorcerer's Apprentice in Fantasia can run upwards of $10,000, $12,000, depending on whether Mickey's in it and whether it's one cell on top of another to make a scene. A lot of factors are involved. But it's a market like anything else. If I have it and you want it, how much are you going to pay me for it? And if I'm willing to let it go.
Well, if you have it and I want it, how much would you ask for it?
Well, that's what I say. Most of the cells like that go on auction because there is no set rule as to what they are worth art-wise. So most of them go in estate sales and they go for auction, and that's where the bidding goes up.
I'm trying to find out what they would be worth, roughly, though. How?
Okay,
I mean, are we talking $2,500 or $2,500?
No, we're talking about $2,500 at least for a Fantasia, and that would be the broom sequence or the sorcerer himself. If Mickey's in it, it can be upwards to $10,000.
Wow. Is Mickey the most important of all the Disney characters, would you say?
Well, I would say he is to Walt Disney Productions because he's the main mouse. But I find from collecting and from having my own store that Donald is the most popular character. You have to remember that Mickey retired before the war. Mickey was virtually done by that time, and Donald came along and did the war effort. And now all of the people that lived through the war are, you know, your age or older. They're the Donald Duck lovers because they remember what Donald did during the war. And Mickey only came back periodically.
Well, Mickey just had a birthday.
Yeah, right.
In November, he was...
November 18th, he was 58 years old.
58 years old.
Yeah.
He has 7 years to go before mandatory retirement.
Right. He got drafted on his 50th birthday, so I guess that's okay.
A year and a half before he can cash in on his IRA if he wants to start on that.
Get the Disney pension.
Well, let's have some fun looking at some of these items that you have here. Mary, I see this. This is a great
this guy I just acquired a couple months ago from Canada. He was made during the war, and he was given to a young woman who joined the Royal Canadian Air Force, and he traveled all across Europe with her as her kind of mascot. I don't know the Canadian manufacturer. I don't know of any way to, to trace that of a foreign country. But he's very similar to what was made here in 1928, 1929, 1930.
Very early Mickey is.
He looks like a rat, and that's what Mickey was. But the difference here is Mickey has 4 fingers, and Mickey doesn't have 4 fingers.
He's got 5, you mean?
Right, with the thumb, right. He usually basically only has 3.
Mickey only has 4 fingers. Okay.
And that's Mickey of the 1940s, and this is Mickey of the 1980s from Canada.
This one here.
Right.
1980s Mickey.
Right, and they are still a little bit different than what we consider our interpretation of Mickey here in America.
Canadian?
Canadian.
And
traditional
USA.
Mickey, right.
Oh yeah, that's nice. That's nice.
But Mickey keeps up with the times, so he's got his sweatshirt and his corduroy jeans on.
Now there's another Mickey over here. What is that? A great big Mickey?
No, this is Minnie. This is Minnie.
I never usually have that kind of trouble.
The eyelashes given.
Oh, I see. I see.
Minnie is a one-of-a-kind that was given to me by PepsiCo Corporation. It was a promotion in the store for what they called Mickey's Christmas General Store. And by sending in bottle caps and money, you could purchase items from Pepsi. Mickey items, you know, they had Mickey on them. And they gave me one that I could keep Minnie so that Minnie would never be lost. There'd always be one around, so someday you could see what they would look like.
Now, you've talked about your store. You have a store called My Best Friends.
Right.
And of course,
these are all my best friends.
All the Disney characters are your best friends. And at present, your store is located in Morton Grove, right? At 9004 Waukegan Road, right?
Just a little bit north of Dempster.
Just north of Dempster, and we'll send you a bill for that.
It's in the mail.
But now, this Minnie is not on display in the store, right? This is a real important collectible to you.
Well, we used to use her for Christmas display and when we had our own store, but of course, like everything else, everybody wanted to buy her. And when I'd say it was not for sale, everybody's got a price. What's your price? I want to buy it. And it just got to be too much of a hassle. So we stopped using her.
Okay, let's get Mickey down over there. Mary, what are some of the current things that a collector can buy in your store or elsewhere God forbid,
You can get anything.
of Walt Disney things.
You
What
can get anything
you
from clothing to toys to records to tapes. Anything that's contemporary, Mickey's into it. As you can see, Minnie has even gone punk. She's now mod, totally Minnie. So Disney keeps up with
This is
the
a Minnie
times.
too?
Right.
Minnie Mouse has gone punk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you ready for a 58-year-old punk mouse?
Is Minnie 58?
Yes, Minnie is.
Did they
started
both?
exactly the same time
Yeah.
as Mickey. They were both featured in the same cartoons. Right.
Were they, I guess they were always boyfriend-girlfriend, right?
Right.
In all these years?
Yes,
they
there was
never-
one cartoon where there was a dream sequence that Mickey dreamt that he got married.
Oh, yeah?
And he had thousands of little mice, and thankfully he woke up, and that was the end of that. So, yeah.
A punk Minnie.
Right.
Now, has Mickey gotten very contemporary?
He has, but each year the Disney Corporation, for whether it's a reason of their birthday, such as a 50 milestone or something like that, they pick one character to feature for merchandising, and this year it's totally Minnie. Because even though Minnie's birthday was the same time as Mickey when he was 50, the focus was all on Mickey. So they've given her a year this year where everything is her.
A few years ago, Donald celebrated his 50th birthday, right?
Right, 1984.
84. And there was a lot of excitement.
Right.
With
Well, a cross-country tour, just like Mickey made a cross-country tour, and Clarence Nash was able, the voice of Donald Duck, was able to go with him, which was different than with Mickey. Walt was unable to go with Mickey.
Let's see what else we have here.
Sure.
This
The Big Little books are very popular. They were printed all throughout the years by Western Publishing and Simon & Schuster and all those. Those are very collectible today. But most of the Mickey stuff is not necessarily collectible because it's Walt Disney, but people collect Big Little books.
Yes.
People collect music boxes. They want to
I
add a
see.
Disney one to it. People collect animation art. They want to add Disney to it. So most things are not necessarily collectible just because they're Disney, but because of what they were. Tin toys from before the war are popular because they're tin toys. So you have your Disney collectors out there in the market competing against your toy collectors. So there's two different factions there that are collecting.
Well, that makes it harder to get then, right?
That's what makes them collectible, and the prices go up. Sure.
Now, who is this over here?
Snow White?
This is, that's Snow White.
Right, that's Snow White.
First I was going to say Sleeping Beauty,
No,
but I guess...
that's a contemporary doll, and
you
that's a
take her out of
premium
it?
offer, sure. A lot of the Disney stuff is offered through premiums, just as they were during radio times, different products.
Well, what
featuring
kind of a
characters.
premium would this be?
This was a premium, if I remember correctly, for a fabric softener during the re-release of Snow White in '83. A Snow White doll.
Does Snow White become or remain perhaps the most popular Walt Disney film?
Sure, it was the very first one, full-length animation that they made. But all of the Disney films are re-released every 7 years based on the theory that there's a new generation coming up. And those of us who already saw it would like to see it again. And for a very long time, that was the only way you could see it. Now, of course, video has released quite a few of these classics.
Pinocchio's out on videotape,
Right,
and
Alice
Sleeping
is out
Beauty,
on...
Alice, and a lot of the cartoons. I think.
More of the contemporary ones,
Yeah.
Robin Hood, The Rescuers,
Right,
things like that. Yeah, but Snow White still remains.
Now, speaking of Snow White, you have a poster. We have a poster here behind us of, let's see if I can get around it. Pardon me, folks. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And this is a reissue poster. Is that
Right,
correct?
that's from 1967 when he released.
1967.
Right,
And you've got Snow White with Dopey.
right.
All
And
right,
then
now
you
this should not be hard for you at all to name these seven
No,
dwarfs.
you do it.
Oh, all right. Dopey, and this would be Grumpy. No, Doc.
No,
Sneezy.
no.
All right. Tell me, help
Bashful.
me. Oh, Bashful. Okay.
Sure.
Happy.
No, that's Sneezy.
Sneezy.
Sleepy.
Sleepy.
Happy.
Happy. Grumpy. And this is Doc.
All right.
Right? We got a wonderful exhibit of things here. Let's take a closer look at some of the things that you have over here.
We have a lot of the things here from the 50s, from when the Mickey Mouse Club was popular. The Davy Crockett, of course, was a legend unto his own in the 50s, and a lot of merchandising came out at that time. Kids all had coonskin caps.
This is the 30th anniversary of Disneyland?
Right. Those are the characters that they had for their 30th anniversary.
And a Mickey's Mixer is up here?
That was to get the kids to drink their Ovaltine or
Ovaltine?
chocolate milk or whatever.
Walt Disney didn't have a shake-up mug, though.
No. But they showed you the more you drank, the bigger you got, the stronger you got. You know, you could be one of the different characters. But throughout the 50s in the wonderful world of Disney, Walt played a very big part of that, which you don't see today.
Down here, yeah,
Right.
he was. Now this, on our second shelf here, you have a
papier-mâché
bust of Walt Disney. Now that was certainly not manufactured for
no. This
public
was
consumption.
given to us by a lady when we had our store over in Irving Park. She came in one day. She was a puppeteer all of her life, and she's in her late 70s now. And she made that from TV guide cover. And she said that she wanted Walt to have a good home now that she was getting older, and she thought maybe we could take care of him. And it's a pretty good caricature of him. And,
well, you certainly do win the honors for being a great Disney collector, and you have so many things. And this exhibit is going to be at the Prospect Heights Public Library through when?
I believe through Christmas.
Through Christmas of this year. Well, fine, and I hope that folks can come by to take a look at it. And I hope that maybe we get a chance sometime to dig into your inner sanctum and look at so many of the other thousands of Disney things that you have. What is the most collectible of all the things that you have?
I would have to say my wooden Pinocchio is about the
wooden
oldest.
Pinocchio.
Yeah.
You're still stuck with that?
Yeah, I think so. Because it was made right here in Chicago, and that's unique too. And it's the oldest piece I own, I think. But I'm always looking.
Okay, well,
Christmas
we'll keep
is
looking
coming,
for you.
so who knows?
Anybody's got some nice Disney collectibles that you'd like to share with Mary, visit her, Mary Bolton, at her store in Morton Grove, My Best Friends at 9004 Waukegan Road. And make sure you come here to the Prospect Heights Public Library to see some of these great goodies. Now stick around, because we're going to be back and we're going to be talking about the Cinnamon Bear. So don't touch that channel.
The Mysterious Traveler.
The Jimmy Durante Show.
X minus 1.
Fibber McGee and Molly. The Amos and Andy Show.
Suspense.
Town Hall tonight. Philco Radio Time.
The Tom Mix Ralston Straight Shooters.
The Guiding Light. Can you top this?
Tom Corbett. Space Cadet.
Henry Aldrich. Coming, Mother.
True Detective Mysteries.
There's an old-fashioned warm Christmas spirit at Townhouse TV and Appliances. Maybe it's the smiles that greet you. Maybe it's the dolls. Maybe it's the Lionel trains. Maybe it's Townhouse's Christmas sale prices on all Zenith color TVs and Zenith VCRs that makes Christmas shopping a little more special.
With any major purchase, get this Townhouse Lionel Super Train for only $19.95.
Come to the superstore, Townhouse TV and Appliances, Milwaukee and Oakton.
You'll find a generous helping of memories from and about the good old days at Metro Golden Memories in Chicago. We have a complete selection of records and cassette tapes from the fabulous big band era, plus thousands of personality recordings by your favorite singers. We offer a gigantic collection of books about the movies and the stars from those wonderful days of not so long ago. At Metro Golden Memories, you'll find a marvelous collection of celebrity statues, plus our famous Maltese Falcon replica, the Oscar look-alike, even Little Nipper the RCA dog. Hundreds of old-time radio shows on record and tape. And lots of books about radio and television, too. Posters of your favorite movies and movie stars. And videotapes of the classic films from Hollywood's golden age. Hundreds in stock for sale or rent. All this and more at Metro Golden Memories, 5425 West Addison, just 2 miles west of the Kennedy Expressway in Chicago. Open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday from 10 to 6, Sunday from noon to 5. Come in and browse. Does Santa Claus come to your house on Christmas Eve? When you were a kid, did he come when you were fast asleep, or did he come perhaps in the middle of the evening and with a bag full of gifts? When I was a kid, the whole family gathered at our house. All my aunts and the uncles and my cousins, everybody'd come to our house, and we would have a big party on Christmas Eve. And pretty soon, maybe around 9 o'clock or so, there'd be a knocking at the door, and we'd hear sleigh bells ringing, and the door would open, and there would be Santa Claus himself with a bag full of goodies. And everybody would gather around as Santa sat in Dad's easy chair and distributed the gifts that came from all the aunts and the uncles and the relatives. And it was a wonderful time. And pretty soon, Santa would leave, and there we'd be with all the gifts open and with lots of fun. And then maybe we'd go to sleep after everybody left, and Santa would come again and leave some special gifts from Mom and Dad, and even from Santa Claus. Those were the days, you know, Christmases of not so long ago. We had lots of fun at the holiday season. can surely remember trimming the tree and putting up the village underneath the Christmas tree. It was always nice. We had the nativity scene, we had the little houses, and we had little skiers and all kinds of fun like that. Very special time Christmas was. And when I was a kid growing up in the 1940s, one of the very special things that I remember about Christmas was the Cinnamon Bear. The Cinnamon Bear was a radio serial that came on the air every year just around Thanksgiving, and every night for about 15 minutes we listened to the adventures of Patio Cinnamon and his friends Judy and Jimmy as they degrew, made themselves very small, and traveled to Maybeland in search of the star, the silver star, for the top of their Christmas tree. Those adventures with Patty and Judy and Jimmy and the Crazy Quill Dragon and the Wintergreen Witch and Nicky Foodle and Jack Frost and Santa Claus and all the other characters really made Christmas something very special to us. The Cinnamon Bear was created in 1937, and it was syndicated on radio. That is, 16-inch transcription discs of the story were transcribed and sent to radio stations all around the country. Local sponsors would be the people who brought us the Cinnamon Bear, and in the Chicago area, the longtime sponsor of Patio Cinnamon and his friends was Weebolt's Department Stores. And you would go to Weebolt's in their Toyteria, and you could get a coloring book, and you could get a silver star for your own Christmas tree. And those were really the fun days. I'd like to show you a 16-inch transcription disc, which I have here, and this is what the Cinnamon Bear looked like on record for so many years. This particular disc, and I hope you can see it closely here, is containing one of the episodes, one of the 26 episodes of the Cinnamon Bear with Patio Cinnamon and the gang. And then we would fall on the floor in front of our radio every afternoon. I think it was Monday through Saturday in those pre-Christmas days of not so long ago, and hear those adventures. And we never dreamed it was a disc that brought us the action. We knew that Patio Cinnamon and his gang would be right there in our imagination, because that's really what radio was, you know. It brought us the pictures in our imagination. We heard all the sounds that came off the disc, and we thought those characters were on the radio, and we listened. And every year, from 1938 to about 1950, the Cinnamon Bear entertained us after school. In the very early 1950s, the Cinnamon Bear came to television. And what we had on TV was a photograph of the Cinnamon Bear. We had puppets doing all of the action of Patio Cinnamon and his friends. And they were doing the action, but the sounds were provided by those radio shows. Now, I've got something special for you. Very hard to find episodes of the TV adventures of the Cinnamon Bear. But we have one of the episodes later on in the series, probably chapter 22 or 23 now, and I'm going to share that with you. I want you to come with me back to Maybeland as we pick up the continuing adventures of Patio Cinnamon and his gang. Now, every night they would be hot on the trail of the Silver Star, and every night they just missed getting the star, or someone would steal that Silver Star. Well, now in this episode, Judy and Jimmy and Patio Cinnamon have enlisted the aid of Santa Claus, and they're trying to recover that elusive Silver Star. Let's go back to those good old days of Christmases of not so long ago and watch this isolated episode of the Cinnamon Bear.
Judy and Jimmy and the Cinnamon Bear are in the snow country with Santa Claus. For a while, everything looked pretty wonderful. Santa Claus bundled them into his specially private sleigh and drove to Jack Frost's house. After examining the broken Silver Star, Jack took some magic snow cement, and before you could say Jack Robinson, the star was back together again. However, it was necessary to let the cement get good and solid, so Jack Frost left it on the windowsill, and what do you think? When Judy went back to look at the star, it was
gone. It's just as gone as though it had never been there.
Jiminy Crickets, this is awful. What'll we do, Santa Claus?
No. The first thing to do is not get excited. Maybe it fell off the sill into the snow.
Do you see any sign of it, Jack Frost?
No, it's not there. Perhaps it... Look! There they go!
Ooh!
The bad dolls! That's where the Silver Star went. They stole it.
Willikers, let's chase them. Come on, Judy. Come on, Cinnamon Bear.
Hold on, Jimmy. Hold on. You couldn't possibly catch them now. Why, they're going like 60.
But Santa, we can't stand here and let them get away with our silver star just after it's been mended and everything.
Now, don't you worry, Judy. I'll see to it that your star gets back safe and sound.
All right, if you say so, Santa. But it sure makes me feel pretty awful unhappy.
Me too. And ferocious besides, Garage.
Who are these bad dolls anyhow?
Well, Jimmy, a few years ago, a most strange thing happened. The factory got hold of a bad lot of sawdust, and consequently, all the dolls that were stuffed with it turned out to be very naughty.
I beg pardon, Santa, but don't you think you'd better call out the tin soldiers? Those bad dolls have quite a head start, you know.
Oh, so they have. I almost forgot. May I use your phone, Jack?
Oh, certainly.
Thanks. Hello, operator? Hello? Get me Snowside 1, 2, 3 O'Leary. Yes. Hello? Nicky Frutal? Oh, Nicky, the bad dolls have just stolen Judy and Jimmy's star right after Jack Frost mended it. Now, I want you to order out a detachment of tin soldiers. Yes, tell Captain Tintop the bad dolls headed due west of Jack Frost's house. Mm-hmm, that's right.
Santa?
Oh, hold the phone, Nicky. Yes, what is it, Judy?
Excuse me, but would you please ask Nicky Frutal if the Crazy Quilt Dragon has come out of the tailor shop yet?
Oh, surely. Oh, Nicky, how about the Crazy Quilt Dragon? Well, how does he look? Oh, that's fine. Well, you tell him to meet us out in front of the big storeroom. Yes, that's it. All right, you got everything straight now? All right. Goodbye, Nicky. Well, there we are, children. The tin soldiers will be on their way in a minute. You'll have your star back in no time at all.
That's swell. Gee, I feel better already.
Just the same. It's pretty hard not to worry when it's getting closer and closer to Christmas every minute.
Oh, now you just leave it to Santa Claus, Judy. And now we've got to get started for the big storeroom and meet Crazy Quilt.
Speaking of Crazy Quilt, which I'd rather not do, what did Nicky Fruitles have to say about him?
Well, the tailors have done a mighty fine job of renovating. Nicky says he looks just like new.
Let's hurry. I'm anxious to see him.
He'll probably be so conceited you won't be able to touch him with a 10-foot pole.
Now, Cinnamon Bear, don't be jealous.
All right, come along, everyone.
Goodbye, Jack Frost. Thanks for mending the silver star.
We're ever so grateful.
Oh, sure, that's all right. I'm just sorry it had to get stolen.
Oh, that's all right, Mr. Frost. Santa's tin soldiers will get it back for us. And don't forget, next time you're visiting the world, you just stop at our house and I'll have Mother show you how to frost a chocolate cake.
You bet I will, Judy. Well, goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, Jack Frost.
Goodbye.
It's pretty cold out here. I don't know what we'd do without these fur suits you gave us, Santa.
All right, all in the sleigh now. Make it snappy.
Will somebody please give me a boost?
There you are, Cinnamon Bear.
Much obliged, Jimmy.
Everybody in? All right, off we go. Hi, Dunner. Hi, Blitzen. Hi. This is the big storeroom.
There's Crazy Quilt waiting for us.
Hello, Crazy Quilt. Hello, Nicky.
Salutations, my friend. Salutations.
Hello, everybody.
Well, is everything all right, Nicky Frutal?
Tip-top, Santa. The tin soldiers got off with flying colors.
Ah, splendid.
Notice anything different, Judy?
Oh, my goodness, Crazy Quilt. You sure look specially handsome.
Oh, yes, indeed. My friends, you are gazing on a new Crazy Quilt Dragon.
Looks like the same old stuff to me.
Here, let me see. Well, they did a good job, all right. Turn around. Turn around.
Yes.
There. Why, your patches look just like new.
Oh, me, yes. I'm thrilled no end.
Boy, and you've got a brand new bow around your neck. It's sure a humdinger, Crazy Quilt.
I guess he's not the only one who has a bow.
Of course not, Patty Cinnamon. You have a lovely green one.
Green, very common color green. Now, my bow.
Orange, that's what it is. Orange, a yellowy orange.
It is indeed, it's scarlet, so there.
Well, whatever it is, They sure took you to the cleaners, all right. Too bad they didn't dry clean your crazy quidditch brains while they were at it.
Here. No quibbling, please.
Oh, don't mind them, Santa. They always act like that.
Oh, I see. Well, what do you say we just forget a bit about it, and we'll take a look around in the storeroom, huh? Right this way.
Goodness me. Just look at all the little pianos and horns and things. Hundreds of them.
Ah, this is the music department.
Ah, music. You don't happen to have a spare tuba around, do you, Santa? Used to play in the Dragon military band, you know.
So that's why you're such a windbag, huh, Crazy?
Here I am, Santa. Everything's taken care of.
Good. Now, where's that special piano job, Nicky? I'd like to look it over.
It's this one right over here. I'll take the cover off. Ooh, a little white piano. Oh, it's beautiful.
Very nice. But it should be tested before we pack it, Nicky.
If I'm not intruding, Santa, I'd be glad to do the honors.
All right, Patio Cinnamon. We'd love to hear you play. Wouldn't we, Nicky Fruitle?
Indeed we would.
Piano player, huh? Sissy stuff.
Don't pay any attention to him, Cinnamon Bear. Go right ahead.
This is my own composition, my very own, Santa. I'm very fond of it.
So are we. Cinnamon Bear sang it for us the very first time we met him.
And he sang it for Queen Melissa, too.
As a matter of fact, he sings it on every possible occasion.
Well, personally, I think it's very pretty.
Thank you, Patio Cinnamon. You're a real artist.
Much obliged, Nicky. Now, if you don't mind, I think I'll browse around a bit.
May we look at anything we like, Santa?
Why, certainly, Judy. Anything that isn't wrapped up.
Gee, Judy, take a look at this peachy trumpet.
Are you positive you have no tubas about, Santa?
Oh, plenty of them, Crazy Quilt. But none your size.
Oh, how unfortunate. You're really missing a treat. Some consider me a virtuoso.
Oh, Santa, what are all these toy soldiers doing here? I thought this was just the music department.
Well, those are musical soldiers, Judy. They play in the toy band. You'll hear them when we have the big inspection.
Where's Cinnamon Bear, Judy?
Why, Now, where did he go?
Oh, he probably wandered off by himself. Never mind, though. He won't get in any trouble around here.
Oh, I don't know about that, Nicky Fruitle. Paddy's middle name is Trouble.
Well, then, we'd better start looking for him. Don't see him anywhere around. Perhaps he went into one of the other rooms.
Where does this door lead to, Santa?
Oh, that's the Christmas sticker supply room. And let's see if he's wanted in there.
My word, what a collection of Christmas stickers and tags piled clear to the ceiling.
Aren't they pretty? I don't think I ever saw such beautiful ones.
What's that? There's something under this pile of stickers.
Here, let's see what this is all about.
It's Cinnamon Bear.
I've got his leg. Help me pull him out, Nicky.
Oh, this is rich. He's covered from head to foot with stickers.
Come on, everybody. Let's pull them off for him.
Look, there's a great big sticker right across Patty's mouth. And it says, "Do not open till Christmas."
Oh, no, that's too much to ask. I doubt if our cinnamon friend could keep his mouth shut until Christmas, even though it isn't very far off. Well, here goes.
Oh, wow, what a life. Everything's against me.
How did all this happen, Mr. Cinnamon Bear?
Just looking around, minding me own business, that's all. Guess I was still a bit damp from the snow, and when that big pile of stickers toppled over on me...
Oh, just minding your own business, eh? My little stuck-up fellow. Oh, what a sight you are.
Calling Santa Claus. Calling Santa Claus.
Oh, excuse me, please. Santa Claus speaking. What is it?
Captain Tin Top has just reported skirmish with the bad dolls in the icicle forest.
Yes. Go on.
Due to snowstorm, have had unexpected setback. Need reinforcements immediately. Bad dolls are much more stubborn than usual. Seems to be someone helping them. A scout reported that they are being led by a strange creature never seen before in the snow country. Couldn't tell much about it, but it was all green. That is all, Taffy Twist.
What strange creature is this who's leading the bad dolls? All green, the scout said. I wonder if it could possibly be the... Oh, well, we'll just have to wait till next time to find out.
And that's an isolated episode of the TV adventures of Patio Cinnamon, the Cinnamon Bear. And, of course, that used the radio soundtrack. What you see here is my little Patio Cinnamon, a cinnamon bear that's been hanging on our family Christmas tree for quite a few years. It was made by a close friend of ours who knew of our special interest in Patio Cinnamon. You can't find these anyplace because they have to be specially made. But Patio Cinnamon, the Cinnamon Bear, has been a real good part of our Christmas for many years. And as I said earlier, if you went to Weebolt's during the heyday of the Cinnamon Bear, you would get a silver star from them, and we'll show you one a little later on. And you might also get this, this Cinnamon Bear coloring book. This is a replica of the Cinnamon Bear coloring book that the kids would take home from the toy-teria. They would color this and then possibly enter a contest, and then you'd get a prize maybe for entering, and if you were the bestest of all the coloring artists, you might get a nice special prize. The Cinnamon Bear was very special, not only to me, but to an awful lot of people who listened on and off for all those many years, and as we've had the pleasure of rebroadcasting the Cinnamon Bear on our radio shows for some time. One of the people who really got enthralled with the Cinnamon Bear was a fellow by the name of Ron Konecki. He lives on the northwest side of Chicago, and he has created in his home the Cinnamon Bear's village of Maybeland. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll take you to his Maybeland. Stick around and don't touch that channel.
There's an old-fashioned warm Christmas spirit at Townhouse TV and Appliances. Maybe it's the smiles that greet you. Maybe it's the dolls. Maybe it's the Lionel trains. Let a good memory from Christmas past, Lionel, make its way to Christmas present. This Christmas, why just give a toy when you can give a tradition? Lionel.
Come to the superstore, Townhouse TV and Appliances, Milwaukee and Oakton.
You'll find a generous helping of memories from and about the good old days at Metro Golden Memories in Chicago. We have a complete selection of records and cassette tapes from the fabulous big band era, plus thousands of personality recordings by your favorite singers. We offer a gigantic collection of books about the movies and the stars from those wonderful days of not so long ago. At Metro Golden Memories, you'll find a marvelous collection of celebrity statues, plus our famous Maltese Falcon replica, the Oscar look-alike, even Little Nipper the RCA dog. Hundreds of old-time radio shows on record and tape. And lots of books about radio and television, too. Posters of your favorite movies and movie stars. And videotapes of the classic films from Hollywood's golden age. Hundreds in stock for sale or rent. All this and more at Metro Golden Memories, 5425 West Addison, just 2 miles west of the Kennedy Expressway in Chicago. Open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday from 10 to 6, Sunday from noon to 5. Come in and browse.
It's one small step for man.
Share the experience.
The candidates need
and unlock the memories. At Chicago's Museum of Broadcast Communications.
And for the latest local results.
Celebrating the very best in radio, television, and advertising. For membership information, call 565-1950. Chicago's new Museum of Broadcast Communications. Come, share the experience.
And here's the Cinnamon Bear.
This is Maybeland, as created by the very talented imagination of Ron Konecki. It's all not really at the North Pole and all those other exciting places, but it's really right here on the northwest side of Chicago, where we've come to visit with you in your home, and we're so happy to be here, Ron, to see this exciting exhibit you have.
Well, thanks, Chuck. Appreciate you coming over, and hope you enjoy seeing Maybeland the way I've created it.
Cinnamon Bear lives here in your home. Where did you get the idea for all this? From, of course, the radio show, right?
Of course, Chuck, just like you listened to the radio show after school, and then the imagination just took over.
How long did it take you to create this Maybeland exhibit?
I would say 3 months working on weekends, spare time, and the imagination.
Every waking moment, I would say, for 3 months, yeah.
Just about, Chuck.
Can we take a very special tour of Maybeland with you now?
Be my pleasure,
Chuck. Take us back. Now, we have to use our imagination like the good old days of radio, right?
That's right.
So let's just kind of dream a little bit about Christmases past and think about Maybeland, and let's go to Judy and Jimmy Barton's house, where they're in the attic looking for the ornaments for their Christmas tree. Now here we are in the attic at Judy and Jimmy Barton's house, and this is, what is this, Ron?
This is the trunk where the children find the cinnamon bear ornament.
I see, and they are searching for the silver star, right?
That's correct. The silver star was stolen by the Crazy Quilt Dragon.
The Crazy Quilt Dragon. Now what happens? What does this cinnamon bear tell Judy and Jimmy to do?
The cinnamon bear tells Judy and Jimmy that he'll help them degrow with the help of the telescope. Mm-hmm. They'll get in their gold airplane and fly to Maybeland to chase the Crazy Quilt Dragon.
And so they get out of the attic by going through this little hole in the attic, right?
That's correct. They fly through the hole in the attic and they enter Maybeland.
And we're at?
Maybeland. We're looking at the Lollipop Mountains. The Worry Willie the stork punctures their gold airplane fuel tank and they crash land in the Looking Glass Valley.
Okay. This is Worry Willie the stork now. And he punctures their golden airplane.
That's right. He drinks up all their soda pop fuel.
And down they go into the Looking Glass Valley.
That's right, Chuck.
Look hard. You can see the airplane down there, right?
And it's really down there deep.
Boy. Well, what happens?
After Willie rescues them from the Looking Glass Valley, they're attacked by the Inkaboos. They are going to be sentenced to be tossed into the immense inkwell, only to be saved by the Scissor Soldiers with the help of Crazy Quilt Dragon.
Crazy Quilt's everywhere, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a good and a bad guy in this scene.
All right, now from here...
they escape the Inkaboos and they jump into the root beer ocean where the children spy the silver star floating nearby, and as they reach for it, that's Wesley the wailing whale comes up and swallows it.
Well, that's it for the silver star. If he swallowed the silver star, it's gone, right?
No, they land on a rock so Crazy Quilt can dry out. Samuel the seal agrees to get the star back from Wesley the weeping whale.
And here we have the seal, and there
is Presto the magician, and he agrees to get the star back from Penelope the pelican. He's not that great of a magician. He promises to get the pelican out of the hat, but he gets a penguin and a halibut before he gets Penelope.
Uh-oh.
The only problem with Penelope, when he jerks her out of the hat, she dropped a star on the island of Obi.
And that's where we have to go next, right? But
the children are looking for something to eat, and they find Captain Taffy's treasure chest.
Mm-hmm.
Before they can open it, they're captured by the Candy Pirates. They're taken aboard the Candy Pirate ship, the Susie Q. They're introduced to Captain Taffy, who agrees to take them to the island of Obi to find the Silver Star.
Boy, that's a real ship there, isn't it? The Susie Q.
That's the Susie Q.
And who's that on deck there?
That could have been Captain Taffy himself.
I see. And they escape them from the pirates.
The pirates lend them a lifeboat, and they get through the magic wave where they meet the roly-poly policeman who doesn't have their star anymore. The Crazy Quilt Dragon is taking it into the Wintergreen Witch's house.
Now they're on the island of Obi here, right?
That's right. They meet.
And there's the Wintergreen Witch in her house there. And who's this now?
This is Professor Wiz, the educated owl. He informs the children that he did see Crazy Quilt go into the house itself. The children go into the house. They go through the magic picture frame. where they meet FIFO the Gentle Giant and all the rest of the characters in the Magic Forest.
And there he is, FIFO the Gentle Giant.
That's right. The children leave the island of Obi to go see Queen Melissa, the ruler of Maybeland. Queen Melissa gives the children secret instructions that can only be read in total darkness and a magic lunchbox. The children leave Queen Melissa and trying to find total darkness. They go into the Wishing Well woods where they meet Snappersnick, the singing crocodile, who eats the magic instructions, telling them that the darkest place there is the inside of a crocodile. He reads the instructions, which instruct him to go to the Wishing Well. On the way, they meet Oliver the ostrich, and he directs them further to go to the Wishing Well.
And here we are at the Wishing Well.
That's right. After reading the sign, the only problem is Patty Cinnamon falls down into the Wishing Well, and they use their only wish to get him back out of there.
Uh-oh. But at least Patty is safe, right?
For the time being. They get out of the Wishing Woods only to be confronted by the Muddlers, Captain Muddler and Mudley. They throw them into the river of mud, and they're sinking fast.
There never seems to be any hope for this cliffhanger, you know?
None at all. Here we have the Cockerbarrel Cowboys led by Slim Pickens, who rescue our party and get them onto the Purple Plain and further direct them to the Golden Grove. They are chased by Chief Cook and Bottle Washer across the Purple Plain to the Golden Grove.
And still no Silver Star.
Still no Silver Star, Chuck. Here we are in the Golden Grove where the children come in, they're tired, they fall asleep underneath the singing tree, and when they wake up, there's a magic hat waiting for them to take them to the land of ice and snow.
Now, when they get to the land of ice and snow, who do they meet?
Well, the first person they meet is the snowman with the red and green flashing nose, who directs them to Nicky Frutal, who takes them to Santa Claus, who will take them to Jack Frost to mend the broken Silver Star.
Now, Jack Frost actually does mend the star in the story, doesn't he?
He mends the star only to have the star stolen by the bad dolls.
And that's the episode we saw a little bit earlier from the TV series.
That's right, Chuck.
And now, who is this? That's Jack Frost there, right?
That's Jack Frost who mends the Silver Star.
And what happens? We get it all set now?
They get the Silver Star back. Santa Claus promises to take our party back to the attic on his annual trip to the world.
So it's the Crazy Quill Dragon and Judy and Jimmy, and finally the Cinnamon Bear going home to Mom, who has the tree and the ornaments, and it's the end of the story.
It's Christmas Eve, waiting to dress the tree.
And they all lived happily ever after for many Merry Christmases to come, right, Ron?
That's right, Chuck.
A wonderful Maybeland visit. We thank you so much. It's a delight to see this exquisitely carved and created village. It's a marvelous job you've done.
Thank you, Chuck. Appreciate it.
We're glad that you invited us here to your home, Ron Konecki. And, well, bless my stuffings, it's Patty Cinnamon. You did this too, didn't you?
That's right.
This is it, Patty Cinnamon with the Silver Star on the top of the Christmas tree. This is not the Silver Star that Judy and Jimmy and Patty Cinnamon were searching for through their adventures in Maybeland, but this is a Silver Star that the kids received when they visited the Toyteria at Weebolt's department store during those good old days of Christmases past. This original Silver Star and others like it, plus cassette tapes of the Cinnamon Bear radio show, and even a reproduction of the old Cinnamon Bear coloring book are available in some quantity at Metro Golden Memories in Chicago. We're glad that you joined us for this nostalgic get-together today as we celebrated Christmas time. We're happy that you joined us, and we thank those who helped us celebrate. We hope that you will have a good holiday season and that you'll join us again when next we come your way. This is Chuck Schaden. Thanks for watching.